Hello again, Jim Dowson here, your guest presenter with the Templar COVID-19 84 lockdown nonsense, Magumbo. We're all going to die in our own houses and we'll never see the sun again. One of them. Well, lovely to see you all. I hope you are all keeping well. I hope none of your houses or shops have been burnt to the ground with these rampaging savages all over America. And I know the last few days we've concentrated in America because they're having a tough time. National Guard out, chaos reigning, anarchy in the streets. So we're going to concentrate in America. I hope our British, Irish, Australian, Canadian, New Zealander friends understand that. I'm sure they do. So let's have a wee look at what's going on in America. But I must also say today we have a special guest, our good friend, the indomitable, hard word to say that with his teeth, indomitable Jayda Fransen. Are you there, Jayda? How are you?
I am. I'm very well, thank you, Jim. How are you?
I'm great, and it's good to see you in the room. Now, if you don't mind, I'm just going to read a wee bit of scripture. I know that won't offend you, the fanatic that you are. So, I'm going to read, and this is very pertinent. And do you know something? Can I tell you something, folks? I was very late up here today. I was very late. I come running up the stairs to the studio room, and I grabbed the Bible. I said, oh my goodness, where's the bit I marked? And I couldn't find it for today. Anyway, I opened the Bible. I don't recommend you do this. Some people say do it, but it works sometimes. And I just opened the Bible, and it opened up at this bit. It just is the text for today, and especially for America. It's Ezekiel chapter 9. Ezekiel chapter 9 from the beginning. He cried also in mine ears with a loud voice, saying, cause them that have charge over the city to draw near, even every man with his destroying weapon in his hand. And they talk here about the strong men of the city coming with their weapons. And I think if there was ever a time then that passage of scripture was relevant to the United States of America is today. So there you go. Oh, just the perfect bit for today. And I suppose that's what Donald J. Trump is doing at the moment, although he's doing it within the confines of the established forces of law and order. Every man with a weapon come to the city and help here. And obviously it might get to the situation if things break down completely that all good men, like here, all good men with are required to come to the aid of the city and town rulers to save the whole place from going up. Good thing, if you want to Google the Kansas riots, I think in 1912, you'll see what happened there and how it was taken care of back in 1912. Brutal, but very effective, and no more messing from the rioters. Anyway, that's enough for me. And obviously, may God bless the reading of His holy, inerrant, and inspired word. Amen. Well, I'm going to go to Miss Fransen at the moment. Oh, sorry. Like the video, click subscribe, press the bell, comment below. I'm always forgetting that. I'm getting daft. So like the video, click subscribe, press the bell, comment below, and share. And if you don't do it, we'll know. No, we won't really, but you should do it because you'd want to do it. Now, Miss Fransen, first of all, I know we've spoke and you've been very grateful for the help that our lads and ladies have given you. That's great. We like to help people out when we can. But what a terrible way to repay our kindness. So we help you out and do what we need to do, and then I pick up the paper. I pick up the paper the other day, and I see this. Can we see that?
Yeah.
We'll just zoom in a bit so people can see the type of person you are. See the type of person that we've got in our midst. This is a national paper, folks, and it says basically, hate party volunteers wanted. Yeah. Jayda's 30 quid donate hate drive. Far right fanatic out flogging new party in loyalist estates. How long before Fransen gets the message? You and your cringe. Then they mention a completely separate party, Britain First, which you have no ties to, I believe, are no friends of loyalism. Loyalism. Not entirely sure what that actually means, but there you go. So, what's this all about, Miss Fransen? What is this headline all about? Explain yourself, woman. Explain yourself.
I wish I could, Jim. I wish I could. Well, as I think anyone who has ever picked up that newspaper is aware, it is just an absolute trash rag that attacks anyone remotely patriotic. And I don't even buy it, right? I don't even.
Or straight. They don't like straight people either.
They don't like straight people. They don't like patriots. They don't like loyalists. They attack. I don't buy it, right? Because I just refuse to fund them. But I do know that here in Northern Ireland, a lot of people pick them up on a Sunday, kind of as entertainment, just to see the fake news, right? Because that's what it is. But so I got sent a photo of that actually on Sunday, and honestly, like you couldn't make it up. So what they're referring to, this hate campaign, my new hate party, is I have a new party, the British Freedom Party, and we have been out on the streets almost every single day, helping elderly and vulnerable people across Northern Ireland with anything they need. So that can be, we've been taking them food, we have given them assistance cards to put up in their window to check that they're okay. In fact, I don't know if there's a video. I think you guys can probably pull up.
We've got a video. Yeah, we've got a wee video. We'll try and get that. I'm just reading something. It's crazy. Here we go. So this is you out in the street, Jayda, yeah?
Right, so this is us out on the street, and what we're doing is we're voluntarily helping people in the local community. And this is all over Northern Ireland at the moment. And all of these guys that you see coming up are volunteers. They're not hate-filled, demons. They're volunteers. In fact, they're all Christians as well. And so we're out delivering these cards to people so that they've got assistance whenever they need it. We've been taking food to people. We've had some of our guys have been called for all sorts of jobs. The kiddies are involved as well. I'm sure the kids aren't hate-filled, although I don't know how low that newspaper would stoop. They probably accuse them of it. But look, yeah, we've got the lads out trimming hedges, doing the gardening. There was an old lady the other day that called and said her floor was lifting and she was tripping up. So one of our volunteers is here fixing her floor.
Fantastic.
These are all good Christian volunteers, and that newspaper somehow has turned it into a hate campaign. I don't know how they managed it.
Jayda, you just said there, how low would they go? Would they involve kids? 10 years ago, there was a holiday snap of me with my beard gut hanging out, my flip-flops, and my wife and her 3-year-old son. I had a little plastic gun out of a Chinese shop, cost $1, €1. And we're walking down the beach, and they actually put that on the front page. You're only on page 20. I was on the front page with dousing and shotgun terror.
No way.
Yeah. Yep. Dousing and shotgun terror.
Your child in the image?
Yep, me, my wife, my child and he had his little gun, and they said I was getting the child to carry the shotgun so he couldn't be prosecuted. He was 2.5. The gun was this size. Bright yellow with a red stock. They did that.
The thing is, right, we're laughing about it because you kind of have to laugh or you cry. But the reality is these kind of newspapers, these fake news outlets, they literally destroy people's lives. And I've seen them, like they wrote in this article about going into loyalist communities. Yeah, some of the communities that we've been into are loyalist communities because some of the volunteers in this scheme are from loyalist parts of Northern Ireland, unionists. We've been helping all across the board. And the fact is, this rag trashes the loyalist community. I mean, they are the hatred towards the loyalist community.
Well, if you're a white Protestant, this paper is just on your case constantly. If you're a white Protestant, and to be fair, even if you're a practicing Catholic, this paper hates real Catholics, but they absolutely
I'm the prime example.
You're a prime example. But if you're any kind of Christian, this paper has got a big issue with you. If you're white and patriotic, that's it. Anything goes. Do you know what they also done, Jayda? They actually ran stories about my son. He just started a plumbing business. He just got married and had a young baby. And they actually said his plumbing business van was a front for a far right group. Wow. It was called Ultra Plum. It was black and white stripes. Ultra Plum, emergency plumber. No, this is a front for a far right group. And he lost his business because he had to get into areas where it was very dangerous. That's the type of paper. So listen, let me just say to all our wonderful members who have helped you out recently, well done. This is all down to you folks and the actions of Miss Fransen. So you must be doing something right, Jayda. God bless you, because the devil does not kick a corpse. The devil only kicks a living, vibrant body or somebody who's in with the Lord, because if you're already in with the devil, he doesn't need to kick you. So this is proof, as far as I'm concerned, that you're a good person, that you're doing God's work, and it's great to see that these people are ripping you to shreds.
Well, thank you very much.
Can I just read something here? This is a national paper, people. Let me repeat that. It's a national paper. They said, you shockingly gave out free aid and leaflets saying, I am okay or I need help. You shockingly did that. Oh, you're a bad, bad person.
Shocking. Helping all these people, shocking
How
stuff.
dare you? Fixing old ladies' floors and taking their garbage out and their... honestly, what's going on? What is going on in the world? It's terrible. Anyway, it's good to see, and I know you're still working very hard with your new party, Jayda, and I know you've got things to be doing, and there's a lot of stuff you're trying to get office stuff together. I know there's going to be more news on that, because Jayda's got nothing. She's got nothing. The Templars have dug out some second-hand printers and different bits and pieces, but when you start a new office from nothing, because your party's going quite well, I hear, Jayda, is that right?
It is. It's going shockingly, to use the newspaper term. It's going shockingly
Terrible.
well. It's going so well that I'm struggling to keep up because, like you say, I've just kind of started from scratch. And I know a lot of your people, wonderful people. Thank you, everyone who's tuned in and has helped. Thank you so much. Not just on this occasion, but in the past. Yeah. You will have seen, a lot of your people will have seen my journey over at least the past 18 months, if not longer, has been a rocky one, let's say. Yeah. So I find myself now in a fantastic position. I couldn't be happier, but there's a lot that needs putting in place. And if it wasn't for you guys, I think I'd be pretty stuck. So thank you.
Well, our people are the best. I'm telling you that. You'll be very fortunate if you get people round about you as good as we've got round us. The Templar people, there's nothing like them on the planet, and I mean that. I'm not just playing up to them. Our people are the best. I'll just tell you a quick story. In fact, I think I told you about this guy yesterday, Jayda, when I was talking to you yesterday. A guy phoned up. I was actually on the phone to Jayda. I did tell you about it, and I said, I need to phone you back. And this gentleman, he's a member, a brother, and he said, I don't want to bother you. I know you are busy, but hear this. I ordered a full night regalia package in January, and then I ordered a warrior pack, which is a sword and a dagger. Not cheap. I mean, both of these things are like $700-800 each. So it's like the guts say $2,000. He says, but nothing's arrived. This was January, February. I said, what? Oh my goodness, brother, let me go and look at it. He said, listen, I don't want to put you to any trouble. And I think I told people the other week about this. Nobody ever complains in the Templars. Now, you've been in political parties, and I was in a political party years ago. If you're a day late in England, somebody orders something at 6 p.m. Monday night. If it's not there 8 a.m. Tuesday morning, they're on calling you scam artists and phoning up the authorities. Am I right?
Yeah, they are. I know. Yeah, and you told me this last night. I was really shocked because you're not just talking about a T-shirt or it doesn't matter what they've ordered, right? But it's just the fact that this chap ordered 2 significant packages. Yeah, he was so polite that he didn't want to trouble you for the best part of 6 months. I mean, look. It's just a different calibre.
It's a different mindset. Templars, and I said to this man, you truly are a Templar, sir, because patience and fortitude are 2 of the most important attributes a Templar man needs. And I don't think I've known anybody who's patient and with such fortitude. So obviously we dropped everything and got stuff sorted out today as far as we can. But remarkable. So if you get people on board that are as good as our people, you'll go far. And remember, never compromise on core issues like, well, the faith. I know that we never compromise on the faith. We never compromise on homosexuality. We never compromise on abortion. And I know you're the same, and that's why we're happy to help you. And you will attract the right type of people. It's as simple as that. You will just attract the right type of people. But I know you're trying to get this office opened up and equipment. We've gave you some stuff from the Priory HQ, some of your old stuff, and we've helped you as best we can. But we're going to put a link up, folks. I'm going to put a link up now. We're going to get a techie guy to stick a link up. So the thing is, there's nothing worse than being asked to help people but you never see any fruits of your endeavour. Well, with this woman, she's different. She's like a Tasmanian devil. When she's on the street, everybody knows about it and the papers know about it. So that help you gave her a few weeks ago, look how it's paid off. It's fantastic. And I believe, I don't think you can talk about it. She's actually got a couple of police. I don't know, can you talk about the police investigations into the people, the elected officials who were attacking and threatening you?
I can say a small amount. So okay. I can confirm that there's now a barrister involved who has instigated legal proceedings. But and I can't say too much about this, but the police in Northern Ireland, the PSNI, are now also investigating what is possibly considered a hate crime. There are a number of layers to this, and there are a number of people involved, and so I can't go into specifics, but the police have called me in on more than one occasion now, and yeah, it's pretty serious. I mean, I'm a bit like you, Jim. Like sometimes I see you have a laugh and a joke, and I do. I don't like to take myself too seriously. Although I'm I'm very serious about what I'm doing, but I also like to, be a bit lighthearted. But to be brutally honest, this is such a low blow in the midst of everything that I'm trying to do, all the positivity. And I don't mind the newspapers having a dig at me, because like you say, if they're not having a dig at you, then you're not doing enough. But what I don't expect are for elected officials and men. I'm not going to sit here and say that I'm a withering flower and I need protection. And, I'm a woman, I'm in the public eye. I accept that. These men have placed me in danger, and they know my personal circumstances, as do most people. That I'm doing a lot of this stuff on my own, and so they've put me in danger to the point where I now have a marker on my home by the police, which means that I would receive like a rapid response to any emergency call, and I have security measures throughout my home now because of the false accusations made by elected officials in the UK. And
tolerant parties, I may add, from the left-wing tolerant people who attacked you because you're not tolerant, but they've put your life in danger, and they're completely wrong.
Yeah, exactly. And they're just getting on with their lives like nothing's happened, because for them, it doesn't matter, right? This is how these people operate. They literally destroy lives. They put women in danger, and then they just get on with their lives because it doesn't bother them. What does it matter to them if I get killed? If I leave my house and I get killed because they've said I'm risking people's lives, they don't care. And so now the police have had to step in, and it's, I don't know.
Well, I noticed also both of these elected officials are both open supporters of Antifa.
Yeah.
Now, we can't say who they are. I know I don't want to cross the line too much, but I think I'll push it this far. One of them is a big fat lumpy guy with glasses, lives with his mum. And you want to, I've got to be careful what I say here, but his opinion of Jayda is, I don't like that woman, I'll rip her hair off. That's who he is. He's, hilarious. I haven't on his YouTube, I couldn't stop laughing at him. But he's one of them, and not even the decency to apologise, because everybody knows now they were wrong. So, I've got things wrong, and I come on and say, look, I'm deeply sorry, that was not the person I was talking about, and I got it wrong. These people don't care. So, listen, I'm glad. I'm going to tell our people here, look, that's another reason to help this lady. She's just not let this roll. She's went for them. She's went down the legal route, went to the police. There's an investigation. It's a big thing. I know a lot more about it, but I don't want to say on here because it's not my place. And Jayda's told me, we have to be careful with legal proceedings. But it's great. But this is all part of the backlash, because this paper, scum paper, this utter trash rag, will be well in with those type. You know what I mean? Do you know what I'm saying? So now they're putting the pressure on her because she dared try and stand up for her rights and dared pull these people up for elected officials for telling blatant lies that could result in the death of her. And because she's had the gumption, the audacity to go and complain to the official authorities, all their friends in the media now are all targeting her. But Jayda, listen, I've known you for a long time, girl. They ain't going to budge you. This is what they do. They're bully boys. They try and put the pressure on. Well, I've seen you outside London Central Mosque with jihadis all around you saying they're going to cut your head off, and these people of them went on and became beheaders of American and British people in Syria. If they didn't manage to budge you, I don't think some rather effeminate reporter is going to do it either. So you've got our support, that as usual. But I just hope the people watching this today get behind you and give you some support, because not support for the courts. This is a criminal matter. So there's no money needed for this at this stage. But Jayda's trying to get an office up and running. Things like printers, guillotines, paper, chairs, desks, all that stuff. Everything. Just imagine you had to put an office together tomorrow. It's very difficult. Oh, listen, I'd like to thank Barclay Burker, Evan Donaldson, you see, Philip Dunkley, already for donating. God bless you. I salute you. So that's people, Jayda, who's already donated to your cause there.
Thank you very much, guys. I really appreciate it.
And a couple of new names there that I didn't recognise. One guy we know very well, he's a very, very devoted brother. The other two guys I didn't know. So God bless you, unknown people. I know who you are, but thank you very much. It's much appreciated. Now, just as I was saying, Antifa, these people who have attacked you recently, Jayda, these elected officials who should know better, have attacked you. They both support Antifa. I just want to ask your opinion. What do you think of the situation in the United States of America? Because as you are very fond of America, I am also very fond of America, and the Templars are very connected in America. Can I ask your opinion? What do you think of all this carry on?
I think it's absolutely appalling. And I mean, first of all, this is just another display. We saw this back in 2011. This is another display of guests in our respective nations overstepping the mark, taking absolutely any opportunity they possibly can to ignite a race war. And look, I'm so sick of, throughout my time as an activist, I'm a Christian, always have been, right? But throughout my time as an activist, you get the racist word thrown at you all the time. Racist, xenophobic, every phobic you can imagine. And frankly, it's just not true of genuine Christians, at least. So, the notion that someone hates another person for the color of their skin, for me, is moronic, right? Because I can't fathom it. But here we have people who are openly waging a race war against white Americans. And people are having their homes, their businesses, their lives destroyed. People are now rotting in jail for defending themselves. And this is not just happening in the States. It's now, people in London are doing the same. In Belfast, which is the least, I mean, you want to come to Northern Ireland, right? You want to talk about multiculturalism. There is none.
They're going to have to black up in Belfast. They're going to have to, all the lefties are going to have to black up.
Exactly, like as well as I do, right? There's no multiculturalism here. So, but they're turning out. Black Lives Matter are turning out in Belfast. Listen, all lives matter. But
you better believe it.
Hijacking what they're pretending to be a legitimate cause, and they're using this guy's name to go and pillage and loot and burn and smash and destroy in the name of what? Their race. I mean, what do they think they're achieving by this? Nothing, and absolutely nothing. And I am so disgusted. I watched London burn in 2011. I'm a Londoner, born and raised. I watched London burn at the hands of savages over the same predictable, periodic narrative, which is that black people of ethnic minority, need to rise up to defend their rights. It's textbook stuff. It needs to end. We can't tolerate this. And frankly, I think the police now need to get real with these people.
You better believe it. I agree with you. And I hope, President Trump's the best we've got, but he does tend to do these proclamations and nothing happens. Look, in the old days, you'd put the troops in the street, you would read the Riot Act. Anybody who's still in the street 1 hour later, open season on them. Simple as that. And it needs to stop, because let's be honest here. Let's be very, very clear. This is a race war. This is a race war against white people. It's very unfortunate. But where most of the coloured people in Britain are visitors, as you say, they're visitors, recent visitors. It's very strange in America, because the black population in America have actually been there longer than most white people. Most white people arrived there after the 1840s, where the black population was already there. So it's a very strange scenario. So you could say, who's got the big claim to America? But here's the thing, I don't care if they're black, pink or purple with green spots. The Vietnamese boat people came to America a couple of decades ago. They integrated into society. They became some of the most successful business people in the country. And they came from nothing, with nothing. The people who lived in Turkey, what do you call it? The Armenians. Millions of Armenians went to America. I've been in Los Angeles. There's a part of the town, there's a Scottsdale or something that's all Armenian. You want to see it? It's like Hollywood Boulevard when it was Hollywood Boulevard. These people have prospered. They've done well. My people were some of the first people to go there, the Ulster Scots and Scotch Irish. We prospered. Then the Irish came in the 1840s from famine. Half of them couldn't even get off the boats they were at, starved. They prospered. There's a group of people who've been here for almost 400 years. They ain't prospered, but it's everybody else's fault bar theirs. And then they take it out on us. It's not good enough. And this is a race war. Well, and I just want to point out to people that there are good African Americans actually standing between the rioters and the police protecting them. So I'm not blanketing everybody, but there is a problem in that community. Let's not mess about. There's great, good people, absolutely, but there's a hell of a lot of very bad people, and it's not good enough. And I just want to point out something else. I don't know if our technical brother we'll maybe be able to find it, because I'm furious at this. In fact, I hardly even want to bring it up because I'll go mad. What's the brother got there? I just want to thank some other people, Jayda, who's pledged to help you out here. Les Androkovich, he's a good fella. Owen Clear, Irishman, good man himself. Joseph Dixon and Clinton Dixon. Joseph Taylor, I beg your pardon, Joseph. And Clinton Dixon. Clinton Dixon is one of your very, very long established brothers. So thanks, lads. But here's what I wanted to talk about. See if our guy can get it. There's a picture of the police now kneeling down, taking the knee in support of the protesters.
This is exactly this kind of appeasement is what has got us here. Because look, these people will only behave in this manner. And when I say these people, I'm not talking about all African Americans, because there are African Americans out on the street with signs saying, "Stop looting."
Amen.
Hijacking the cause, right? And look, if you stand for any cause, whether it's a faith, whether it's a political cause, I've been involved in activism for many, many years. There will always be bastardize my cause of any kind, because that's what they do. They're not legitimate Christians, or they're not legitimate patriots. They just want to hijack. So you'll get that everywhere. But look at this.
Look at this nonsense.
This is why they're looting and they're burning and they're attacking. It's because they see this and it enables them and it empowers them.
Yeah. And it's everywhere. It's all over. They're doing it everywhere. Every single one of those kneeling cops should be immediately drummed out of force. Get them out. Get them out. What are we going to do? We're going to be fighting the Panzer divisions in 1943, and half the troops are on their knees in front of the Waffen SS. They'd be shot. They'd be shot where they knelt. Get them out. I hope Donald Trump has every single one of these men drummed out of police. No pension, no nothing. Out. And maybe even flung in jail. I'm furious about this. Furious about it. Do people not understand? You cannot reason with bullies or a mob. The mob or the bully understands one thing and one thing only.
I know, it's
strength. Strength. No, I get this one. It's more effective. That's what the bully understands.
Yeah.
That's what the aggressive people understand. Strength. Beat them unconscious, and they'll be less inclined to carry on again. It's so disgraceful. But listen, I'm not speaking out against direct action. Wait a minute, what we're looking for here? An African American policeman was shot by dead yesterday by rioters. An African American policeman was shot in the head, dead.
And these people they expect the rest of the world to believe that this is a legitimate cause where they are trying to defend the rights of black people. That is a black man trying to uphold justice and trying to protect Americans, fellow Americans. And he was shot by a black protester. Like, these aren't protesters. These are criminals.
Oh, it's worse than that. I'll tell you what's going on here, Jayda, and you know this. This is little rich white kids. Antifa. This is little rich white kids and all their minions stirring up the African Americans.
Yep.
That's what they do. They've done it in Britain with the Pakistani community, the Muslim community, all the little Antifa creeps, pencil necks who couldn't fight anybody. They then stir up maybe stronger people like the African Americans or the Pakistani Muslims. And that's what's going on here. That's what's going on. They are being fed a tissue of lies, and they're being led by the nose. So the real racists in all of this are not the rednecks, the hillbillies. The real racistness are the little neocon and lefty Antifa people out of Brooklyn, New York, and all this. The people who shout and bawl about misogyny, white privilege. These are the people who have the privilege who are stirring these people up. And I don't think anybody is in any doubt of that. You've seen it yourself, I'm sure. We saw
a couple of days ago, we saw 23 arrests in London where Antifa and Black Lives Matter joined together and attacked police officers. 23 arrests. All of the images, white, middle class cops, basically.
Yep.
These people are uber privileged. And I've been saying this for years. We've got a terrible situation of knife crime in London. It's an epidemic. Kids are getting knifed every single day in London, every day without fail. Yeah. We actually overtook New York in terms of the number of murders by knife crime. Right. And who are the victims? Well, let's have it. Who are the victims and the perpetrators? Young black men.
Young black.
And that's because the middle class the elite. They are manipulating the black community into believing that they need chips on their shoulders and that they're oppressed. Look, I grew up in Southeast London, right? I know a lot of black people. They didn't get any different opportunities to the ones that I had. My friends don't have chips on their shoulders. They don't go out stealing and robbing and looting and burning. They go to work and they raise their children and they look after their wives. These people that are out on the streets need to be dealt with properly. The police need to read the Riot Act, and if they persist, then open fire.
Absolutely, I quite agree with you. And I must also say that most of this Antifa and White Lives, if you just look at them, now you know me, Jayda, I am ambivalent to the whole cause of Israel and Zionism. I'm against Zionism, but I'm not an anti-Jew person. I'm not a Jew baiter, a Jew basher. In fact, I've spent all my life fighting these people. But to me, look, anybody who rejects Christ is against me. That's it. I don't care if you're Muslim, Jew, Hindustani, Buddhist. It makes no difference to me. I am not an anti-Jew hater. But I have got to say that most of these people who are running Antifa and all these other left-wing groups who are on the pay of George Soros are of a particular background, and that's a Jewish background. I can't not talk about that. And if that offends people, I'm really sorry, but that is the reality. That is the reality. And if you don't believe me, go and look at the names of the people who are heading up Antifa and these left-wing groups. That's the reality. And they seem to be... I'm not saying that's all that's there, but they're massively overrepresented. And I know certainly in Britain, nearly all of the leaders of Antifa and some of the hardcore Marxist groups are from a particular community.
Yeah, and the thing is, Jim, right, your views would probably be very similar to mine on the whole Zionism issue. You know that I am I'm no fan of Zionism. In fact, I don't understand it. I know people that claim to be devout Christians and yet they are staunch Zionists, and I just can't understand how that even works. Maybe they haven't read the Bible. I don't know, but I don't get this whole... There is a narrative, especially in the UK. There seems to be... I find myself in the middle, which is probably why I felt the need to create my own party, because so far, for a very long time in the UK, there have been these two sort of parallel groups run alongside each other. They claim to be for the same cause. They claim to be patriots. They're either hardline Nazis, Jew haters, or they are fanatical Zionists. Yep. And I am neither. I mean, I'll be frank. I couldn't care less what's going on in Israel. I am British. I'm from Irish heritage. I'm a European. My grandfather was from Dutch. He came over from Holland, fought the Nazis with Britain. I've got a lot of my people, my Christian brothers and sisters in Nigeria, concern me more than what's going on in Israel.
Yeah, I don't get it. You're right, but you're right. There was two big parties in Britain. Both of them saying they're all British patriots. One was completely obsessed by the Jews and hating them, and the other one was completely obsessed by the Jews and loving them and getting paid from them. I wonder if they'd have been so pro-Jewish if they weren't getting hundreds of thousands of pounds every year in their pocket, but I don't know. Let me just tell you that for you, Jayda, John Andrews, Delmar Orrell, Bruce Campbell, Don Pollock, Colton, and Tony Camello. You remember Tony Camello? They have all now donated to your cause. So
thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate it. And hi, Tony. It's been a long time.
But Jayda, I agree with you 100%. I have no time for these mad, obsessed Jew baiters. They're always blaming the Jews. They see Jew. Look, I come from a very hardline Protestant community, right? So I understand how obsession works. Anything happens in Belfast, right? It doesn't matter. It could be a tornado sweeps across from the Gulf of Mexico and blows down some trees in my garden, which it did the other day. A man said to me, it's them Jesuits. It's the Jesuits. They're messing with the weather. I spoke to a Catholic guy in a different town. He went, this weather, you know who's that? What? The Masons. It's the Masons. They're in control of everything. They control the government. But for some reason, patriots in Britain seem to be completely obsessed by Jewish people. And they're all marching about down the old Sikh hell. And I can't stand it. I'm like you, I'm in the middle. I'm concerned about my own people, which are Christians, which are then, if you want to expand it, the closest people to me, my obviously white European brothers and sisters, but I'm quite concerned about my African brothers, Christians. I don't have enough brain cells to keep worrying about Israel and what's going on in Palestine. I just can't be bothered with it. Leave me alone. So I'm anti-Zionist. I've got to say that I'm anti-political Zionism. And before anybody criticises me, go and look up and learn what it means first before you come back at me. I am anti-political Zionism because it's not a religion, it's actually secular. And if you speak to anybody who's an Orthodox Jew, they will agree with me. They are completely and fanatically against Zionism. There you go. Go into the Brooklyn where you see the guys with their ringlets and all that. They are fanatically anti-Zionist. They even turn up at right-wing rallies to protest against Zionism. There you go.
I have a pal who, he's not an Orthodox Jew, but I was on his show a couple of months ago.
Is this Halsey?
This is Halsey.
We had to block him out the comments here because he was going berserk. He was too excited and he was putting too many things up, so we had to give him a time out. Sorry.
He's a good guy. He's a good egg. And he, like, we did a show and he basically said, like, what's with these two, like, polarized, they're either absolute Nazis or mad Zionists. And he is a Jew himself, right? But he's an American. He lived in Israel for a while. He said himself, the whole concept of Zionism, it doesn't make sense. It's already been achieved. It's like, so Zion is the ancient word for Israel, right? Well, Albion is the ancient word for Britain. So that's like, am I an Albionist? What does it mean?
I know. And the whole thing's bonkers. But anyway, you're in good company with us because the Templars have always trod a very correct line, and even when it comes to Muslims, for example, in the Crusading times, we had a lot of help and a lot of support from the Shia, who were the assassins, and they done us a lot of good services. We fell out with them from time to time. We'd go at each other, but they done us a lot of good and done a lot of favours for us, and that's the people who recently were fighting in Syria to save the Christians, and they've now got a battalion in their militia with the Templar cross on their patch. So, sometimes life's not just as black and white, and I think, no disrespect to our American friends, but they live in such a detached place away out there in the middle of the Atlantic that then they don't have contact with these other people. Sometimes it can be much easier to be black and white in America than it is in a very congested world where you have got to rub shoulders with other people. But getting back to the American problem right now, I'm fearful for America. And I pray for America because it's the closest we ever got to building our Zion on earth. Closest man ever got, and we've just seen it ruined in less than 50 years by sexual revolution, liberation theology, left-wingism, greedy capitalism, corrupt governors and corrupt officials. We've seen it all destroyed, and to think right now, I'm in Belfast, you're in Northern Ireland as well. We're in Northern Ireland, a place that's been at war for about 300-400 years non-stop. We don't have troops in the street. We don't have curfews. We don't have burning vehicles. We don't have any of that. But not anymore. Well, apart from every July, and maybe August. But apart from those times, we don't have it. That didn't really go down well. But you know what I mean? America is a sophisticated, modern, well-versed democracy with the biggest army on the planet. And they can't even control their own cities. And we've got people who are supposed to uphold the law down on one knee saying, right on, we're with the people. When they're rioting, smashing and tearing good people's livelihoods away from them and destroying people's lives. If people not went through enough with this COVID-19, if people not suffered enough, of course the mob, they never suffer because they don't work. So their welfare check and their food stamps are the same whether they're working, whether they're not working. But I'm talking about the decent African Americans in these inner cities that have lost their shops now. The good, decent Chinese people, the good, decent white people, the good, decent Koreans who've all been put out of business because they're a bunch of vile, violent lunatics stoked and encouraged by Antifa.
Who need to be prescribed. And
to be prescribed, yes.
They need to be prescribed. And I know that at the moment there are, I've seen that you guys have got a petition running. I know that Donald Trump has said that he is going to prescribe Antifa. I personally, through the British Freedom Party, have called upon our Prime Minister here in Britain, Boris Johnson, to do the same, to prescribe this group as a terrorist organisation, because we can't afford to let this go on. These are domestic terrorists. There is no doubt about that at all. They are terrorising people. They're ruining people's lives. And I really sincerely hope and pray that President Trump, does go through with this and he does prescribe them, bans them as a terrorist organisation. And, let's see how they like just a fraction of the treatment that decent people, patriots, have received. People like you and I, Jim, who have had everything thrown at us, the book thrown at us on many, many occasions, whilst these people are behind all of it. And so if they find themselves on a list of a prescribed organisation, it'd be interesting to see how they like it when the shoe's on their feet.
Well, absolutely agree with you, and we'll put another link up there for people in our people to help you, because I know you're needing the help to get this office up and running. But I just want to say this: listen, I am no stranger to controversy. I am no stranger to direct action or riots. I have rioted more times than I can imagine. I've been hit with rubber bullets. I've had real bullets glance off me and fragments in my body to this day. But look, when I rioted in Belfast and Portadown and different towns in Northern Ireland, I was rioting because people were trying to take away my religious liberties and my religious freedoms, and I was not prepared to do it. And I was prepared to die to resist that. And I did fight. I mean, I'm meant to be a loyal subject of Britain, but if Britain's the enemy, I'll fight them, because my people are the Christian people of Ulster, and I've took on the British Army, and I've took on Republicans, but at no point in these riots, and I remember rioting once for 3 days and 3 nights, my wife coming down with change of clothes and some food wrapped up so I didn't need to come home, because that's what happens here, but the whole community's into it. And I was out for 3 days and 3 nights rioting, and my poor wife was going through the lines, the defence lines, to try and supply me with stuff, and I appreciated that very much. But at no time in those 3 days did I ever smash a window of a shop and steal a 50-inch TV, or break a liquor store open and steal a bottle of whiskey, much as I was tempted at times. But no, I rioted, and I fought because I fought for what I believed was right, and I fought a tyrannical government who were smashing people's doors in, beating women on the street, running tanks in a domestic situation in little tiny streets of Belfast. And as a man, it's my job to stop them. So if they attack my people, I will defend them. I never stole a TV. I never stole anything. And that's why I have no respect whatsoever for these people who are on the streets, because this gentleman was killed by the police. I have no respect for these people. It's a big difference fighting for liberty and fighting to remunerate yourself with a colour TV and a new toaster, or a pack of Bud Light, or there are other brands available. Do you know what I mean, Jayda? It's not on.
Of course it's not on. It's they can't expect us to take them seriously. They're absolutely, and in fact they're doing more to destroy his memory. They're saying that they're doing this in his memory. What, stealing? I mean, I don't even really want to go into too much of the actual act itself concerning the police officer. I don't know. I mean, look, I saw the footage, right? And I've heard all these conflicting reports about what went on, and people came out and said, about this character, about the fella that was killed, and there have been all these different sides put forward that trying to. But look, the bottom line is, no one's even looking at this issue anymore. It's not about this issue. When you're out there stealing a 50-inch TV and smashing people's shops and attacking people, like I've seen these thugs physically attacking people, so they're covered in blood and they're laying on the floor.
White people. Yeah, absolutely. And no one's talking about that. No one's saying, look at every news report says a black man was killed by a white cop. No one is saying black people are currently smashing smithereens out of white people's properties and fellow black people's properties. I mean, it's not just white, but it's white men that are being attacked in the street, and women, white women in wheelchairs are being attacked in the street. I've seen it.
Black people.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Because the white lives not matter.
Yeah, it's shocking. Well, listen, our thoughts, prayers and considerations go out to our brothers and sisters in America. That certainly comes from Templar HQ. I've been told by the senior people to pass on our kind regards and best wishes, but also to remember, trust in the Lord, but keep your powder dry. Prepare yourselves, people, and men of the Templar Order out there. Get yourselves banded together. You all know by now what to do. Make sure you're prepared. Make sure you have a block, a city block, or an area in the countryside that you take responsibility for defending, because the police can't be everywhere. It's not fair to expect the police to be everywhere. So sometimes good citizens have to take it upon themselves, lawfully, and you are lawful and within the law, to put patrols out to make sure your area is safe. So everybody knows who's a Templar what they should be doing. So do it, and do it with great gusto, and do it with great decency and decorum, and let people see what a Templar actually looks like when the pressure's on. Well, listen, we're running out of time now. I just was seeing a great comment there from my friend. I'll do the battle axe. Somebody said, Jayda, and it's a good lady who's in here, so she's not saying it in any cheeky way, but she said regarding the battle axe, the Templar battle axe, is that Jayda?
I've been called far worse.
Brilliant. So there we go. Listen, I've been called a lot worse myself, but here we go. Just quickly before we go, because we've ran over time. I don't know what you think of this, Jayda. Do you like this thing?
I do indeed. I mean, it's some bit of kit.
I'll try and get it. Oh, this is very sharp. Nobody told me it was sharp yesterday. I touched it and I cut my finger off, but I don't know if you can see that. You can see through it. It's got a cross. Yeah, it's got a cross cut into it. It is a monstrously solid thing and very vicious weapon. So we have these, folk. We have these in stock. You don't have to wait for them for once. These can be posted to you tomorrow. So we actually have them. Well, it's because they were down the back of a shelf. We didn't know they were there. But we have these. So if you want one of these ferocious weapons, and they're just made exquisitely. I don't know if you can see that in there. Now, I don't know, Jayda, you're a lady. I don't think you would look very good with this charging down the street. I'm sure you'd be more than able. But there we go, folks. So if you want one of these, I think our brothers put a link up. If you want one of these, get it. We can post it out to you right away because we actually have them without any aggravation. And that's it. So somebody asked to see that, so sorry about that, Jayda. Jayda, we're just going to finish up here. Have you anything else? Have you anything, any message for our people before you go?
Oh, just once again, first of all, thank you to everyone for your support. And for just sort of staying. I feel like I'm not going through all of this crazy journey alone. Like through the last 18 months, really, you guys have been so supportive, and it's just and most of you are from all over the world. I've never met the majority of you. There are a couple of names in the chat tonight that I recognise, but largely people that I've never ever met, and you've just been so supportive, so thank you. And for everyone who's currently affected by these riots and this race war, these attacks, you just know that you are in my prayers. And I have a prayer group within my party, the British Freedom Party, and we are praying for you all and your safety and your family. So just God be with you all.
Thank you very much, Jayda. Thank you. And I've just seen another ferocious woman. I've never seen her in here before. It's Cam Dubb. It's a ferocious Irish woman I met in Dublin when I was helping McConnell out with the food aid. Great woman, down to earth, normal person. And I tell you, she is just about as fierce as you, Jayda. So if you're watching, Cam, lovely to see you in the room. I thought you were a very impressive woman when I met you, so God bless you and God bless all our Irish friends. Whether you're Catholic, Protestant, orange or green, pink with blue spots, I don't care. Well, apart from Varadkar, but you know what I mean. So that's all we've got time for today. I'd like to thank our guest Jayda Fransen. Thank you very much, Jayda. I'll speak to you again. And I'd like to thank our mods, Nick, and I think there was a couple of mods in, the McConnell, and everybody else who's been helpful. And it's a difficult time, and just be assured, the people of America, God is with you. Remember your motto, in God we trust. Remember, like the video, click subscribe, press the bell, comment below. America was a nation founded by religious refugees, godly men and women who fled Europe for a better life. Do you honestly think God is going to let these ungodly, lawless reprobates take it away from you? Keep the faith. That's all from me. Till I see you again tomorrow, if I am spared that long. And remember, until then, stick close to God. You won't go far wrong. Do us vault.
The threat is real, and we are on the front line. In a world of misinformation and attacks from the left and mainstream media, censorship, deplatforming, it is time to call out the fake news and bring you the truth. We are the Knights Templar. Visit our website and join today. We are the Resistance. Deus Vult.